Hello everyone, and welcome to our reading. I'm Green Bean, and Sapare's here, and we're reading Rainbow's Bad Fanfic.
Yes, I am indeed here. Would be awkward if I wasn't.
Yeah.
So I guess I start then. There were many civilizations Twilight had found herself in over the years that she considered disturbing and uncomfortable. Getting worked up over an upcoming magic test by Celestia, uncomfortable. Having to flee from dangerous creatures in the Everfree Forest, uncomfortable. Facing down eldritch horrors bent on world domination, most definitely uncomfortable.
Living with Spike every night, listening to him snore. Pretty uncomfortable.
And yet, somehow having one of her closest friends standing and smiling at her eagerly, as Rainbow was currently doing, managed to trump every single one of those experiences.
Jeez.
Um,
is
I
that
don't know if
not
this fanfic is going where I expected it to.
I didn't think so either. I know Rainbow Dash was so horrifying.
Twilight had, until few moments ago, been quietly minding her own business.
Man,
And then the typos happened.
yeah,
Everything changed for the typo nation effect.
I don't think this story is just gonna be bad because of typos. It would be funny if we were reading a bad fan fiction about Rainbow's bad fan fiction. It'd be really meta.
That would be pretty hilarious. Been quietly minding her own business, just reading a good book on one of many park benches in the middle of Ponyville. But suddenly, out of nowhere, Rainbow Dash had arrived and started looking at her with a look of excitement. The Twilight instinctive bow. That what?
Instinctively.
Wasn't going to mean anything good.
Jeez, is that just what you feel? Like you see Rainbow Dash being excited and you're like, oh no, not again.
Okay, I mean, there's about like five things it can mean, half of which end up with the whole town blowing up, so I guess it's reasonable.
I guess.
A great
How
deal
does
of
she blow up the whole town? What?
but either her idea is to nuke the town with like a sonic rain nuke, or she's gonna like break time and space and go back in time.
Uh, I think that'd be an interesting episode. She just goes up to Twilight like, "Hey, Princess Twilight, do you mind if I nuke the town? Today's really boring."
Right, I see that would actually see that make a pretty good fanfic. Rainbow Dash destroys the town because it was boring. A great deal of time passed with nothing but silence between the two mares, until Twilight flung herself out now, finally let out a sigh and closed her book, speaking up. Can I help you with something, Rainbow? Rainbow's smile widened even further before she answered.
Oh, I'll say, guess what I've just done?
That's Rainbow Dash. Okay. Twilight thought that question over for a while, figuring that Rainbow was probably here to brag about something to her, and so tired to figure
Tried.
out what she. Oh, Twilight. Okay, fuck, I can't. And so tried to figure out what she might have accomplished that weren't disturbing her like this. That's me, isn't it? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm amazing. Yeah, I'm amazing. Beat a new flying speed record.
You're radical.
Mito. Rainbow shook her head.
Nope.
It's really awkward to read a line and then read your own line. Like, you expect to end after that line. It's weird.
Yeah, I see your points.
You got invited to play to a party by the Wonder Boys, Twilight asked.
That would be
Again,
awesome. But no.
Rainbow answered. See, that's what I mean. I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Twilight let out a groan before finally giving up. Okay, Rainbow. What is it? Rainbow was particularly bouncing with excitement in a manner that was rather reminiscent of Pinkie Pie. Before reaching behind her and pulling out what Twilight now saw was a few sheets of paper. Twilight raised an eyebrow at that, but it was somewhat startled as Rainbow pushed them into her hoofs.
I just finished my first fanfic.
Needless to say, Twilight was rather taken aback by that. Wow, Rainbow, I'll be honest. I never took you for the type to write your own stories. Rainbow shrugged her shoulders at that.
You know, this is kind of spoilers, but to be fair, can you call it a fanfic if it's a fiction about the actual world that you live in? Wouldn't that
Right.
just
If
be
it's a
called a
fanfic about
fiction?
yourself.
Well, I guess you could technically write a fanfic about yourself. I guess that's the implication. It's just time. Oh wait. Let's
That was
see.
that was the correct line.
Yeah. Time was I'd agree with you. What does that mean?
But it means there was a time when I would have agreed with you. But it
Oh,
sounds very unrainbow. I
yeah.
mean, that's coming from the guy who can't fucking read, but it sounds very unrainbow.
It does indeed. Maybe that's why it confused me. Uh,
I
sounds
guess
something
maybe
more
that's
like
really did
something
that confuse you.
Celestia would say. Yeah. But I figured once I s- But I figured I once said the same thing about reading books, and look how that ended, with everybody dead. So I figured, why not?
So this you turning to egghead, because seemingly you sound like an egghead now. But I had to admit, she had heard worse reasons to get into writing. I want to hear what reasons she has heard that are so bad.
I'm.
I hate pens, so I will make them hurt by writing.
That's probably Applejack's reason.
Yeah, well. However, she looked from Rainbow to the paper in her hoofs and then back to Rainbow. She couldn't help but feel confused about it all. But with the way Rainbow was watching her eagerly, it dawned on her what this was all about. Ah, you want me to read it, don't you? Rainbow, still having an image to maintain, tried her best to strike an...
I'm
So,
cool and I don't care.
Okay.
Pose. You
Pose
know
is part of the quote?
it.
It's a Rainbow Dash. I'm cool and I don't care, pose. Pose.
I guess. I
Completely,
don't know.
completely leaning against Twilight's bench. I guess she really is a princess because she owns this bench now.
Apparently so. Well, if you don't have anything better to do.
Twilight chuckled at her friend's behavior, but nevertheless gave a short nod and smiled, letting her know that she was willing to do this for her. Rainbow, despite her earlier attempts at seeming aloof at the whole thing, struggled to resist smiling over her friend's agreement. Because smiling is uncool.
I guess so. Like, uh, she tries to avoid looking too excited, but I think she usually is fine with just showing a smile for such things.
Not this Rainbow, this is Egghead Rainbow.
Makes sense.
Twilight, still smiling, looked down at the paper she had. Well, she thought to herself, it's always nice to see more ponies getting into literature. And with that mindset, Twilight reasoned that this might actually be a fun read, and so began taking out a more comfortable position on the bench before starting to read her friend's story.
It was an awesome day, and Dash Rainbows was.
That is the best name ever.
Indeed.
Twilight hadn't even reached the end of the first line, and already she felt the need to plant her hoof into her forehead. Seeing this reaction, Rainbow watched with confusion as Twilight turned to look at her. Rainbow, if your intent was to have a self-insert character as a lead, that's fine, but Dash Rainbows? Seriously? The sign Pegasus shrugged her shoulders at that.
What? I'm no good at names, alright?
Twilight couldn't fight over that, given her own history with coming up with decent titles for her own writing in the past, and so decided to give her the benefit of the doubt in this matter. With that said, she got back to reading. So wait, Twilight named her character Sparkle Light or Sparkle...
She probably named like 80% of her characters Celestia, or something
Okay,
that
that's
rhymes
actually
with
probably correct. Celestia. Celestia. I don't know, stuff like that.
So one day, Trolestia and Celestia and
And Molestia.
Lolestia, yeah, all had a picnic.
This is your name.
Right. And Dash Rainbows was flying through the sky, being awesome. After coming to the ground, she...
Twilight let out another sigh after reading that. Rainbow.
What now?
Rainbow replied. Twilight looked at her with some war in her face. She didn't want to dash her friend's desires to continue writing this, but at the same time, she had a responsibility to let her know the truth of the matter. Can you dash anything for Rainbow Dash?
I don't think so. Because she's Rainbow Dash. You might try and dash your dreams, but she'll dash your face first.
I'm sorry. It's just You said she was awesome, but then you didn't do anything afterwards. Rainbow tilted her head in confusion, prompting Twilight to explain herself. Look, you want your character to come off as impressive and capable, right? Okay, fine. But you can't just say something like, she's awesome, and move on. You have to show why she's awesome. Have her do some stunts or perform an act of heroism. Something like that. It's an old saying. Show, don't tell. Rainbow raised a hoof and scratched her head a little before replying to that.
But wouldn't readers just take our word for it?
Twilight shook her head with a serious look on her face, giving Rainbow her answer. If somebody told you that they had great flying skills, would you believe them, or would you ask that they prove it? Rainbow considered that and very quickly saw Twilight's point. Looking back down at the ground rather sheepishly, Twilight, not wanting her to feel disheartened by this, gave her a quick nudge with a hoof and a reassuring smile, which Rainbow returned. Turning back to the story, Twilight carried on reading.
Alright. When she reached the ground, Dash Rainbows suddenly found herself surrounded by a huge and dangerous-looking pack of timber wolves. But she wasn't scared in the slightest, instead smirking at them and laughing. Ha!
Now I'm not sure if the type was part of Rainbow Dash or part of the story.
I'm pretty sure this is part of Rainbow Dash. Ha! If you think this is gonna scare me, think again.
But she can write fine before she starts talking. It's like Dash Rainbow's a version of like Derpy that hit her head a few more times.
Like, I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, you'd assume there'd be, like, spelling errors everywhere instead of just while she's talking. I don't know.
But also, it's not like she could. It's not like she actually misspelled ever. She just typed like she put the letter in front of the other letter.
Right, exactly.
It would have been correct every single time otherwise. That is weird. I don't know what he was going for.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Twilight narrowed her eyes a little, rereading that passage a few times before looking up at Rainbow. She saw then that her friend had been peering over her shoulder, reading the same section she had been looking at, and thus knew exactly what Twilight was going to comment on next.
Okay, maybe I need to check my spellings a bit better next time.
I still don't get it, honestly. I mean, like, there would have been better ways to have that. This was not a good way to represent that on.
Yeah, it wasn't. It would have been better, easily represented if it was a whole story, because normally writers don't...
Even like this, it would have made more sense if it had just been either more consistent or a word actually screwed up in spelling, but this is like... This is the most obvious fake spelling ever.
Right. I know what you mean. Like, this doesn't look like this isn't the kind of mistake you make on paper, even. This is the kind of mistake you make on a computer, obviously.
Yeah, like, you would choose up on a keyboard, and even then, this is not the kind of word you would screw up, and it's not like she didn't know how to spell it, she just typed it. I don't get it.
Oh.
At least she recognized the issue this time, Twilight thought to herself.
The Timberwolves struck, but Dash leapt up into the air before coming crashing down, smashing several of her foes at once.
Well, that's totally fine. I see nothing wrong with that. After having read that, Twilight suddenly considered something. As shown by the raised eyebrow she now bore. Wait, why doesn't Dash just try to escape from them? Rainbow let out a short laugh before answering her.
Duh, she's surrounded.
Twilight stared at her in silence for a moment before speaking up again. But she can fly. Rainbow opened her mouth to give a response, but then gained a look that showed that she only now realized what a character could do. She gave Twilight a brief glance wherein she saw that her friend was... He? Oh no, it's Rainbow Blitz.
Oh no! Rainbow is
The story
Rainbow
is so
Dash's...
bad it changes gender.
Man, that is the worst. Poor Rainbow Dash.
Wherein he saw that her friend was clearly waiting for an answer, and soon... However, Rainbow simply tightened her mouth shut even more and turned her head away, not wishing to look Twilight in the eye on this. Letting out a brief shocker at this reaction, Twilight resumed. Ha! I made her cry! That's what it seemed like to me.
That did. That was a really weird overall. I don't know what's going on anymore.
It must be crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. It was a fierce fight, but soon enough it was over. Dash Rainbow stood triumphant over the now shattered bodies of the fallen Timberwolves. Actually, that sounds pretty awesome. Feeling proud at this, Dash smiled widely for a while. Okay,
But I thought Dash doesn't like smiling.
Apparently, her character loves smiling, and in fact, you know, if I have to say anything, it sounds like her character is a psychopath. She flew down into the middle of a bunch of Timberwolves, slaughtered them, and murdered them, and then is like standing around smiling widely, like, ah, yeah, I fucking
Maybe
killed
Dash
you.
needs like therapy.
I think so. Before hearing the flapping of wings above her, looking up, she saw, to her amazement, that some pony new had arrived, and who else could it be but the legendary Daring Do! The famous adventurer looked up at Dash before speaking. You know, to be fair, if Rainbow Dash was going to self-insert and make, like, Daring Do a thing, why wouldn't she just make herself Rainbow Dash? I don't know.
But make. Oh, I guess like
In
that.
the
Yeah.
story,
But
yeah.
but I was gonna say is, I don't know when the story was written, but I mean this is pretty likely now
Yeah.
because they do a Dash of Mud.
Right, exactly. That I
So
guess
now
that's
like
even more what I
they
was
do would
saying.
show up and be like, let's go to adventure, bitch.
Yeah.
I guess I
Yo,
read.
yo, Dash, huh? What?
You can read her. Okay.
Yeah. Yo, Dash, you were awesome in that fight. Want to go on an adventure?
Not to be racist, but why is they do black?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, again, not to be
Also-
racist, but when I hear like, yo, Dash, that makes me think of a black dude.
That's fair. I don't know. When I heard "Want to go on an
Yo,
adventure,"
Dash
I
is
thought
just
of that Princess Celestia toy. Want to fly to my castle?
Okay, that works. Then I guess it's Black Celestia.
Dash considered that for a moment
No,
before.
that's not Celestia. That's Twilight.
Oh yeah, that
It's
is right.
Princess. It's Black Twilight.
Makes sense. Dash considered that for a moment before proudly nodding. Yes. Yes, I do.
I feel like the story is not nearly like it's rubbish, but then it's not that badly written. Like I read worse.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of funny that
I mean,
Twilight's bad
she knows
fanfic.
what adjectives are.
Right, yeah, she's doing a surprisingly decent job. Honestly, if I'd say anything's wrong with this story, is mainly just that obviously things
The
are
pace.
just Yeah, the pace. Like, things are just happening. I don't know where the hell we are.
But do you need to know? It's Rainbow Dash.
Right, exactly. It's Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash and Daring Do, and sounds like a good adventure to me.
I mean, maybe the story's actually like really, really good. It's just she wants to get to the good part, so she like skips the first chapter, and after that it becomes an amazing adventure of danger. and
Maybe
Rainbow
so, and Twilight's just so nitpicky, she's never gonna get to it, and that'll be
I
the
know,
true
she-
plot twist.
Dash. Exactly. That reading, Twilight another self-inflicted hoof to the face. Jeez, now I'm just imagining her beating her own face.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that sounds painful, Twilight.
I think she needs to see a doctor about that. As she let out a groan, Rainbow watched her, knowing that yet another criticism was coming her way, causing her just the slightest bit of annoyance. But she nevertheless remained silent as Twilight turned to her and spoke. Rainbow, I know you're a die-hard Daring Do fan and all, but is there really any reason for her to be in here aside from the fact that you just love to just have her in your story? Just have her in her what?
Jeez,
I mean, again, you have more typos than you fucking.
I
And
know.
not to be mean to the guy, but his actual like the rainbow part doesn't have any typos in it.
Right, he has more typos in his actual story. Like, and this one's actually kind of bad because the sentence barely makes sense. Her in her story. I know that I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be your, but yeah.
Rainbow considered that for a while, giving Twilight the distinct impression that this had been Rainbow's reasoning from the start. Eventually, though, Rainbow gained a look that wouldn't have gone amiss with the light bulb glowing above her head just before giving Twilight an answer.
Well, ponies love Daring Do, right? So it makes sense that they love anything she's in, right?
Well, I mean, if you go by like internet reviewers or anyone who just shoehorns ponies in or whatever, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Just shoehorn in whatever works right now.
Yeah.
Try to chuck it a bit at that. You'd be surprised how often the way of thinking doesn't turn out as well as ponies would like to. People like Dane do because his stories are well written, and because she's always portrayed as an interesting, adventurous character with understandable reasons for doing what she does. Other than that really new movie with that Crystal Skull, which sucked.
I was gonna say, to be honest, I like the Daring Do episodes, but did we ever find out why she was doing anything?
Because she is Indiana Jones.
Exactly, yeah.
There's probably like what it like the beginning of the book is always just like this character is based on an alternate universe character of a movie from some human dude. Don't question it.
So, yeah, sounds like a good book to me.
Your interpretation just has your interpretation just has to arrive out of nowhere for no reason and just flat out says she wasn't going to go on an adventure with a man she what?
But she says she is going to go on an adventure with the mayor she's just met. Twilight, are you a high?
I think Twilight is like she probably wasn't reading a book. She was like the her book was just a cover. She was smoking the book.
Sounds like Twilight's.
Rainbow listened to her friend's words, thought them over carefully. After dwelling on them for a bit longer, her ears began to drop down a bit.
You don't like the story, do you?
Twilight had been worrying about this potential reaction in her friend, but was nevertheless prepared for it as she let out a sigh. Look, Rainbow, it's good that you're going out and trying new things, but maybe you should just go into flying and hitting your wall and think your head on a wall. Don't feel down just because your first try didn't turn out perfect. No pony ever starts out great at what they do, unless you're me. It takes time and experience. Great riders have to go through a lot of duds before they make something ponies like. I totally read it as dudes.
Makes I have to go through a lot of dudes. Jeez.
Twilight had to.
I didn't know that's how writers worked. That would explain. I guess it seems like, thinking about it that way, she seems to be trying to keep the rest of Ponyville out of writing. She probably told this to all of her friends. And she's like, oh yeah,
I get us to science because I'm a writer, that's how it works. Rainbow raised an eyebrow at that, prompting Twilight to think over what she had just said. Okay, that's probably something more encouraging in my head. Wait, what? Why? Was that so bad?
I don't know. I'm confused.
Just the writer of the story, I think, is not exactly on the same mindset as me.
I get that feeling too.
I mean, because like Rainbow Dash has no problem doing things till she learns them, right?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
she did the fucking Sonic Rainbow. I swear, and I shouldn't be swearing, but the shit did the Rainbow saying like a bajillion times before it actually worked.
Right,
At
exactly.
least like in that one episode.
Yeah, she did. She definitely did, and you know what? She actually tried pretty hard when it came to even like studying. That was the thing that happened.
When was that?
Oh, that was in the newest season. I can't remember what episode though, but remember she was having trouble studying for like the Wonderbolt's history test. And so she had Twilight try and teach her how to learn, and she's like, books are boring.
I very barely remember that episode. It's funny, I remember Sonic Rainbow, but I don't remember season 5 that much. Wait, is it season 4?
I was gonna say, it's not surprising. I don't remember that season that hasn't happened yet that much. I mean,
well, maybe I'm from the future. Maybe I am Twilight.
Oh,
Maybe we'll
no.
waste an eyebrow at that, prompting... Okay, no. But other than being upset by any of that, maybe just let out a laugh, which eventually led Twilight to doing the same. A bit not as hardly as Rainbow. And then Rainbow shanked her. After a fight of this, the two calmed down, and Rainbow gave her friend a quick pat on the shoulder with the hope, nodding to her and silently letting her know that she appreciated what she did for her. Twilight returned the smile before reaching over and passing Rainbow's sorry back to her. Rainbow gave another nod after having taken her work back from Twilight. Jesus Christ, this paragraph. Before stretching her out her wings and flying off.
Is this paragraph also part of Rainbow Dash's bad fan fiction?
I feel bad that we are so harsh on this guy, and in all fairness, I would probably write just as weirdly, but I do write. I mean, like I say the same thing a million times. That's what this guy just did. He just
Yeah.
mentioned how this like she nodded him, and she nods back, and then he nods back, and then they just keep nodding at each other, and
Yeah,
then they
and
walk out.
eventually they fly to the castle, and then they're flying. And yeah, I see your point. Like this, there's something weird and
He could
redundant.
have just been like, Rainbow looks at her, Rainbow nods understandingly and appreciates the thing, and Rainbow fucks off.
Yeah.
Rainbow gave her another nod after having taken her word back from Twilight, who was stretching out her wings and flying off, allowing Twilight to finally get back to her book. Rainbow, in the meantime, flew through the skies of Ponyville with her fanfic in her hoof before finally seeing a suitable place to drop back down on the other side of town. There waiting for her was none other than Rainbow's self-appointed #1 fan, Scootaloo, who was watching her eagerly. So, did she like it? That voice was terrible. Rainbow looked down at the paper in her hoof before smiling nervously at the young filly.
Yeah. She loved it.
Scootaloo bounced up and down with joy over that. Awesome! I knew you'd write a good one. So does this mean we can try her out with volumes 2 to 34? Rainbow was stared at the young fan with that same look of nervousness before eventually forcing a more confident look.
Nah, there's only so much awesome a pony can take in one day. You overdose them and they just kind of drop over, twitching in an awesome death.
But I guess that's what Rainbow Dash causes to ponies. This is probably what happened when she did like the Sonic Rain Boom.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of ponies who just like fell over dead.
So I was gonna say I was slightly disappointed.
Yeah.
I actually, when Squirrely showed up, I thought he was gonna have the twist that it's actually Squirrely wrote the fanfic, and Rainbow Dash knew it sucked, but Rainbow Dash just wanted to make Squirrely happy.
Yeah, that would
That's
have
what
been...
I thought where it was going, because I thought that would have been actually a funny like twist.
Yeah, that would have been a neat twist. Or I thought maybe, yeah, I thought it was gonna be something involving Scootaloo, like maybe, or they wrote it together or something, But oh well. This was an interesting story. I didn't like it as much as I was hoping, but I certainly
It wasn't
didn't,
as well written as I was hoping, and I guess the problem is that I've probably seen the idea done before a few times,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
probably done better, but hey, it wasn't like it hurt me to read it.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible in any way.
And at least it made Rainbow Dash into a guy, so hey, that's one positive. I've not read. I can say that I've not read any story with the subject matter where Rainbow Dash turned into a guy halfway through.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's unique in that way.
Yeah, Rainbow Blitz is best stallion. So thank you all for watching, and we will write about you all next time. Sure, let's go with that.